Okay, hey girl, hey. Okay, so this is it, y'all. Grown folks talk. This is it. All right. I'm so hype because I'm going to explain all things menopause. Now, the thing is that, back in the day, I have to say, like the baby boomers, I'm 50 and I'm Gen X, right? So the baby boomers, the 60 and ups, and all those people, they really didn't talk about menopause, right? They It was the change of life for them. You dealt with it. We didn't really talk about it. It was what it was. You knew them aunties that was pouring the sweat, always had a fan, always had some paper towel, just hot. And you just like, what the hell wrong with her? But never really understood it. And it's very complex. It's very detailed. And to be perfectly honest, low key, I might be glad they didn't explain it because they probably didn't know that it encompassed all the things that it encompasses, right? But we're going to dig into it, and we're going to have to do it bit by bit, part by part. I'm going to do a video, which is going up today, which is Monday evening. Then we'll do another one for Thursday. I'll have that replace my podcast video, and hopefully we'll be able to finish up. But if I have to do it another video for this upcoming Monday, then I will. But I think we'll be able to finish up in these two videos. And I'm going to talk about everything, guys. I'm going to talk about definitions. What is menopause? Like, what is the definition? What are all these things people are saying? People don't know whether they're menopause or perimenopause. They don't know. I'm going to explain everything. So we're going to talk about, these words, what these words mean, that people are slinging them all around. And I just think that it's very important because for every issue you have, for every concern you have, for every medical problem you have, you're going to find yourself a fake ass, holistic person who has read like 2 words of a paragraph, decided to take what they wanted out of it and make it be what condition they want it to be to sell you something. And you can buy whatever you want to buy. I really don't care. This is not about products. It's not about me selling you anything. It's about me educating you. And the few things that I do name, it'll be because either I have a history with them, my patients have a history with them, and they've been proven. And you ain't got to buy nothing. So this is not about buying anything. I want you to strap up. I want you to grab a pen, glass of wine, a journal, a paper, whatever, and take a listen. Please make sure you share this with somebody. I know, some people are not on YouTube, or some people are like, I ain't listening to that. But I want you guys to share it because let me explain something. In this next year, this is not just Black women, but especially Black women. In this next year, hellfire is coming our way. We have already started seeing this in the women's health industry, and that birth control pills are not getting covered. This is not getting covered. And you're about to deal with an administration where they're like, we're not doing it. And who are you going to go to? What are you going to say? Right? So you'll be paying for insurance, but they won't be paying for half of your stuff. They won't be covering half of your stuff. So at this point, you have to save yourself, and we have to save each other. And the only way to really do that is truly understanding what being healthy means, and not some clickbait, not, well, I did this and my mama did that. If you're confrontational, when I look down in those comments, you're getting blocked. Okay? At the end of the day, I'm doing this out of the kindness of my heart to help you guys, to help people who don't truly understand, who want the knowledge, who want the information. No drama, no nonsense, not back and forth, not with each other, not any of those things. You can have a question, but if I'm saying things that you don't agree with, that's fine. You don't have to agree with them. I'm just giving you the medicine of it all, okay? Not what I think, but what I know. Okay, we're going to talk about some products, not just as a physician, but as a degreed chemist. Okay, so bona fide and certified. So now let's get into it. Now, and I'll be dealing with Zoe back and forth. Y'all know Zoe. She's having a time. She's not feeling so well today. So now, when it comes to definitions, let's talk about this, because people talk about perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. What's the difference, right? Let me start by saying all the symptoms are the same, and we're going to talk about all the symptoms, but perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. Do you know the differentiation? It's your period. It's your period. And it's for a specific reason, and let me tell you why. If you're perimenopausal, that means that you're still having periods, either sporadically, you're skipping, whatever the case may be, you're still having periods. You have not been. What the time frame we look for is 12 consecutive months with no period. If you've had 12 consecutive months with no period, then you're menopausal. If you get to month 11 and you start bleeding again, girl, you got to start your count all over again. Yes, ma'am. We'll talk about why that's important momentarily. So if you're having sporadic periods, you haven't had one, you might have one every 5 months, every 6 months, every 8 months. If you have not got into that 12 months without a cycle, you are not menopausal. You are considered perimenopausal. Okay? Now, that one, can I drop a pearl on y'all? Did you get that? First of all, can I drop a pearl on you? Menopause is one day. I love it. I love when people are like, what you talking about? Menopause is one day. That day that you get to be 12 months with no period. So I don't know. I don't want my math to be wrong and then y'all be jumping on me. But let's say January 1st of this particular year, you started a period, right? You have not had a period the whole year. We get to January 2nd of the next year. That one day is your menopause day. It is like an anniversary. It's like a day. It's like that one day is your menopause day. The day after that, you're postmenopausal. Yeah. So you have perimenopause, which is before the 12 months stop. I don't care how crazy your periods are. I don't care how irregular they are. If you have not had the stop, you're perimenopausal. Menopause is that day, your anniversary day of 365 days with no cycle. That is your day. That is your menopause day. And then after that day, you're postmenopausal. Now, why is that important? You say, well, all the symptoms are the same. Why is it important? The reason that it's important is once you have gotten to 12 months without a menstrual cycle, when you have hit that 365th day and thereafter, you should never, ever, ever see any bleeding after that. If you see bleeding after you've completed 12 consecutive months of no period, and then all of a sudden randomly at some point you have bleeding, you have a period, you have something, it is endometrial cancer until proven otherwise. Yes, it is endometrial cancer until proven otherwise. Now, proven otherwise means you're going into your gynecologist and say, I'm postmenopausal and I'm bleeding, because it's called postmenopausal bleeding, okay? They should do an ultrasound and they should do something called an endometrial biopsy, okay? If either one of those come back irregular, it's problematic, okay? Now, you have people who are on hormone replacement and they do some postmenopausal bleeding, but we still check. We still check and be like, Now, we'll get to the whole hormone thing at some point, okay? That's going to be further down the line. But let's talk about menopause, what it's like, okay? So the average age of menopause is 51, right? That's not to say that you're going to go through it at 51. I have people who are fully menopausal at 43. Which is a little bit early. Sometimes we can look at that as premature ovarian failure. I have people who are still having sporadic periods at 56. Okay. Normally they say you're going to go through menopause within a couple of years of when your mother went through menopause, but that's not always so. It's not always true. Another thing that I want to be very clear with you guys about is everybody's menopause is different. It's different. Okay, you're different people. Everybody's menopause is different. Now, what does that mean? You'd be like, well, my mother says she didn't have hot flashes. So is that inherently supposed to mean you're not going to have hot flashes? No, everybody's menopause is different. Now, when we talk about menopause, I call it menopausal syndrome because that's what it is. It's menopausal syndrome. It is a whole cluster of symptoms put together, and it is a syndrome. And I like to call it menopausal syndrome after I've defined perimenopause, actual menopause day, and then postmenopause. I like to define it after that. But all the symptoms that any of those people are going to go through is called menopausal syndrome. And you can have some of these, You can have all of these. You can have them to very slight degrees. You can have it to severe degrees, okay? But everybody's menopause is different, okay? Now, so what does that actually mean? What are the symptoms? Well, let's talk about the symptoms. The first is sleep. It's going to be poor sleep. It is going to be difficulty falling asleep, difficulty staying asleep, or difficulty getting a good night's sleep, which then creates a bit of fatigue. Well, fatigue is part of the syndrome, to be perfectly honest, but getting poor sleep does not help. Okay. Brain fog is another one. You're like, what the hell did I come in this room for? Wait a minute, what was I going to say to you? I was about to ask you a question and I forgot. Brain fog. Okay. So poor sleep, brain fog, fatigue, weight gain. And the weight gain, interestingly enough, with menopause is a lot of times around the midsection. Okay. And it's really interesting because you can be somebody who you have always been a gym rat. You've ate well, you've exercised, and now your body's like, honey, do what? Lose what weight? Do what? No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're going to stay exactly where we are, or we're going to gain a pound or two, despite what you do. And so you start getting frustrated because you're like, I ain't never had this problem before. I ain't never had a problem losing weight. I never had, honey, welcome to the menopause. Okay. And so, yes, we have fixes for all this stuff. I'll get to it at some point. I just want to make sure you guys are clear on it. Okay. So the weight gain. All right. And oftentimes because of that, interestingly enough, and it's around the midsection, you guys become insulin resistant, and we'll get to that as well. So, okay, let's keep going with the symptoms because, you can get real lost in this thing. So you have the poor sleeping, you have the weight gain, you have the fatigue, you have the brain fog. And did I say the weight gain? Yes. And then you have, so it's not, the mood swings are not, okay, so it's one of those, let me say how I explain it. Menopause is an amplifier. It's going to amplify who you really are. Okay. If you have a history of like depression and anxiety, it's going to amplify that. If you just have a badass attitude and you've been able to kind of hide it a little bit, yeah, menopause is going to amplify that. It's going to be seen. And I kind of equate it to, let's say, your homegirl call you and she like, girl, let me tell you what Sophia, this is a random name. I don't know no Sophia, and I'm not coming at no Sophia. Okay. Girl, let me tell you what Sophia did. And you like, girl, what she do? Cause she like that. But that is what menopause will kind of, it prevents you from, not prevent you, but it makes it more difficult to give people grace. It makes it more difficult to see the cup as half full versus half empty. It's easier to feel like it's half empty. And so it just amplifies, heavy energy, sometimes negative energy. It can be a lot. It can be a lot. Sexually, you lose your libido. You do not want that man or woman, whatever you into, you don't want that person to touch you. You would be okay never having sex again. You are not for it. One, it's not comfortable anymore because you don't really get wet anymore. If you do get wet, it's like cranking up a 57 Chevy deuce and a quarter. Like it takes you forever to crank up. And when you crank up, you don't get as wet as you used to get. So, for single sisters who are like, girl, I don't care. But for people who are married, for people who are in sexual relationships with other people, it poses a problem because they just don't understand. That's why I say share this, because they don't understand, because it's taking you forever to get cranked up. They feel like it's something with them, like you're no longer attracted to them. And now you start feeling uneasy because let me clear something with you guys that maybe nobody has ever told you. Did you know that your clitoris does not pay attention to what's happening with it or to you? Your clitoris listens to your subconscious mind. So even if you want to have sex, if in the back of your mind you like, oh, I got to do these dishes, I got to check his homework, Lord, I got to finish this paper, oh my God, I got to get to work early tomorrow, I ain't made nobody lunch, and you trying to bust down with your boo, your vagina is going to dry right up. It listens to your subconscious mind. So now he's like, well, is it me? Your subconscious mind is like, oh Lord, I know he gonna think it's him. I don't even want to do this, and I know it's gonna hurt because my coochie dry. Okay, so a lot of things come with that, and you have to understand, a lot of us women go through this in our mid 40s, late 40s. These males or partners, whatever, are still very young, and they're like, so what's the problem? Like, come on now. And, this is real important to understand and address, because I've actually had patients come into my practice and say, well, I gave him permission to have a girlfriend because I can't do it. I don't want to do it. It hurts. I don't, it's nothing I can do. And I'm like, no, sis, let's fix you. No. So you okay, my mom? Hold on, y'all. Give me a minute. Ugh. So it's very important that you guys understand all the things that come along with temperature dysregulation. Now, we got a difference. There's a difference in a hot flash and a night sweat. So your hot flashes are like you minding your business and somebody opens up the gates of hell on the back of your neck. Okay, your buckshots instantly curl up. You instantly pop a hot heat as if you have disobeyed all 10 of the commandments, like hell come for you. Okay, that's a hot flash. It'll usually start at the top and go down to your feet, or either start at the feet and come up to the top. But baby, wherever, it got the rise, and it is, okay, caliente. It is not to be played with. But again, there are varying degrees of all of these symptoms. Okay. Night sweats are the leg is over the cover, under the cover, over the cover, under the cover. The once it comes from out of the cover, it's freezing. And then you got to get it back over. You don't really get control and get comfortable until it's damn near time to wake up, which again plays into your fatigue. You feel me? So with all of this going on, you're like, okay, well, I'm finna gain weight. I don't want to have sex. My vagina is dry. My stomach is big. I'm hot all the time. I'm sweaty. I can't keep my silk press together. Like, girl, is this life? It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. Now, the average length, people think, oh, I'm going to go through this for about a year or two. No, baby. The average length of menopausal syndrome is probably about between 15 and 20 years. Yes. Now, we talked about like the symptoms and how you feel, but menopause, you have to understand, it also comes with increased risk of heart disease and increased risk of diabetes, bone thinning, which, when you fall, we're breaking things and we're fracturing things, cholesterol plaques around the heart, just different things like that on the inside, increased risk of heart disease. That should motivate you to actually treat this and not just symptomatically, if that makes any sense. Okay. So now that we understand the definitions of menopause and what the symptoms actually are, and I cannot tell you why some people have severe degrees and why some people don't. I don't know that. I don't know why your mama might have had, one or two hot flashes, very mildly, and don't remember them. But she might be crazy as Cuda Brown. So the whole mental thing and she might be off her rocker, and she like, no, child, this menopause ain't bothered me. And then you be like, you ain't used to be like that when I was younger, sis. So it's going to do different things to different people, but it's going to do something to us all. And it is just another phase of life. Nothing is wrong with you. You're not broken. The good part is that science and medicine has advanced, so that there is a way for us to live, and to live effectively and productively and happy and all the things in menopause. And I feel like, and I'm in treatment, and I feel like Benjamin Button says run back time. I look at videos from 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago, and I feel like I look better now than I did then. So there's something to it. Okay. So, when we're in situations where we have partners, I think that it is a lot of times as women, I think that we want to come across and we want to seem perfect, right? We want to seem perfect. We want to seem like ain't nothing wrong with me. Like I'm good. We want to be just everything when he comes home. or to town or whatever the case may be. And I think at this good old age in our life, it's okay to be like, let me explain something to you. Okay, I'm gonna get this week. I'm gonna get me together for me, but let me explain what's happening with me. And if you're in a situation where you feel like you can't do that, or if you're a person that don't feel like you have the personality to type, girl, forward this video to them, forward it to them, period. I don't mind saying whatever to whomever, okay? Now, when it comes to menopause, I look at it as a whole body lifestyle. It's a whole everything for me. Like, you know, your diet is important. How you treat your body is important. What you take is important. How you think is important. How you live, everything is important when you reach this good old ripe age. Okay? And what does that mean? So for my patients, obviously I do bioidentical hormone replacement. Okay, it is all natural, in my opinion, all natural hormone replacement. We're gonna get to that, not in this video, but we're gonna get to that. But things that I think are way more important than that are your lifestyle. Okay, and what does that mean? Your lifestyle, just like I said. Let's first start with physical activity. We all get to a point where we're not doing the physical activity that's required. Now, I'm not saying you got to be a gym rat. I'm not saying you got to be in nobody's 5K. I'm not saying you got to be out here in these streets squatting and dipping in lunch. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that when it comes to the human body, muscles have memory, and if you don't use it, you will lose it. And that means if you got to get out and walk, if you can't walk outside, get yourself a walking pad. You missed the Christmas sales. I got one for $99 and I was so dang on happy. But get a walking pad while you're watching these YouTubes or while you're watching your favorite show. Baby, pull that thing out, because it's about 20 or 30 pounds. Pull that thing out in your living room and walk while you're watching that big TV back there. Walk, okay? Walking is probably one of the best things you can do. It's going to decrease your blood pressure. It decreases your blood sugar. It decreases your anxiety levels. It increases your serotonin, which is your happy hormone. So it decreases depression as well. And it's an all over body workout, and it actually strengthens your heart. Walking is a very, very important measure. For me, when I walk is when I think, is when I meditate, is when my creative side comes forth, is when I pray. I'm not saying you got to pray. I'm not putting my beliefs on nobody. I'm just telling you what I do. So walking is a very big deal. But if you're a gym person, you love the gym, great, wonderful. That's a thing. Now, one thing I do want to talk about as far as fitness is concerned, and I actually got to change the name of the program in my office, because I don't want to call it the weight management program anymore, because that's not really what I do. I do metabolism management. Because when I say, hold on, y'all, I got some problems over here. When I say metabolism management, did you know that if you're insulin resistant, meaning if your BMI is greater than 36, or your abdominal circumference, meaning belly button to belly button, is greater than 36, then if you lift weights, if you lift more than 10 pounds, you will actually be working against yourself and you will gain weight. People think that weight training or strength training tones you. It does not. That's resistance training. People think that if you got to build the muscle to burn the fat. A trainer told y'all that. That is not true. You can't find it in the literature. And if you do, show it to me. Okay. So I don't have anything against weight training, but based on your metabolism, it's going to do different things for you. And once we get to a point where we have become insulin resistant, weightlifting is not the thing to do. I promise you that. If you want me to do a whole video or something on it at a later date, I will. Okay? So you have to remain active. Be active. Get out there. I don't care if you play pickleball. I don't care if you play pickleball. I don't care if you dance, twerk, hike, do whatever it is you want to do, but you got to move your body up and down the stairs at your house. Don't trip and fall. Ain't nobody say run, but you have to make sure that your body stays and remains active. Okay. Fat. Let me tell you about fat. Fat itself, like literal fat, it secretes inflammatory cells. Those inflammatory cells actually attack your organs. So literally having fat on your body is inflammation that's attacking your organs. Like real bad. So the thing is that when I say menopause is a lifestyle, don't be like, oh, give me this, give me this, give me this. I want to take this herb, I want to take that herb. But you go to Chick-fil-A, you go to McDonald's, you're always at Juicy Crab, you don't drink no water, you keep a drink in your hand. Baby, miss me with the herbal medicine. Miss me with it. Miss me. Because herbal medicine is not just, oh, let me take some herbs, as if the prescribers or the doctors or the drug companies are going to be pissed off because you don't want to take the medicine. Baby. Okay. But it's medicine, it's herbs, it's not magic. Okay. So you got to help out some. All right. So first of all, let's get active. Let's drink some water. I usually recommend to patients, keep your body cool. Stay well hydrated. Alkaline water is the best thing. Disease can only manifest and do its thing in an acidic environment. Try to be as alkaline as possible. Alkaline water, as much water as you can. I will usually recommend, and again, if you have a medical problem where you have a water restriction, you're in congestive heart failure, you have kidney disease, this may not be for you, but I usually recommend for my patients to do 100 ounces of water a day. Drink water. Okay. It's also going to help with your weight loss. It's also going to help with appetite suppression. It helps with hot flashes and temperature dysregulation and all of the things. So make sure you're drinking water, okay? Now, let's talk about food. I don't call it diet because I don't want you to see it as a diet, because in our minds, diet is restriction. And that's not what this is about. Somebody asked me in one of the comments, eating for your blood. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in the eating for your blood plaque. I don't believe in the gimmicks. I don't believe in. What I do believe in is decreasing as much inflammation in your body as you possibly can. In order to lose weight and be lean, you need protein. Okay, so protein. If you are not a meat eater, you don't have to be. You can get plenty of protein from other sources, okay? But protein is a big thing. And stay away from processed food. Foods high in salt, foods high in sugar, anything in a box. These fast foods, stay away from that crap. That ish will kill you, okay? You got to pay attention to your net carbs. Keep your carb concentration low in your body. Please, 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 please. Because again, when you eat that crap, your level of inflammation goes up. And it's just a mess. It's just a whole hot mess. And it just causes all these problems with aggression and poor attitude and different things like that. So I am all about leafy green vegetables, unlimited leafy green vegetables, proteins. Because we got all this clone meat out here, child. I don't know. Don't think because you go to Whole Foods, you ain't getting no clone meat. You don't know. I'm not putting that on Whole Foods. I don't know. You don't know. Whatever the case may be. And this is just me, I get my protein, my meats from a halal butcher. One, I know it's an actual animal that was killed. And I listen, I know it sounds horrible, but I know it was an actual animal. And I know that it was prayed over a certain way. It's not an animal that died of an illness, and they cut up the meat anyway and give it to you. So there are some assurances that you do get. And I love going to a halal market. I get my stuff and I go from there. I go to farmers markets. If there's fresh farmers markets, like sometimes they're like churches and museums and it's local people. I love getting local stuff. Pay attention to where you get your food from. Please don't pull up. You know, do what you can do what you got to do, because I know right now food is high as giraffe coochie. Okay, but you get what you pay for. And these places, these farmers markets, they're just as cheap as where people go at Walmart and get God only knows what the hell is on the shelves in them places. Don't put that crap in your body, okay? You have to be very cognizant of what you put in your body, because just like, think about it like this. If you got a Bentley, how far, you okay, baby? If you got a Bentley, how far are you getting with 87 octane in your Bentley? Child, you're going to pull up from the pump and that thing going to go clunk, clunk, clunk. Okay, well, with years and years and years of putting junk in your body, how much further you think you got to go? I'm just wondering. So you have to be mindful of that. Stop trying to feed the scale. Stop trying to quickly lose the weight. Stop trying to quickly get rid of this and quickly get rid of that. It's like we want these magical results, but then we don't want to put a whole lot of effort into getting these results. No, baby, I promise you, you better treat this body of yours like it's the last and only one you got, because kind of it is. Okay, so diet is probably one of the most important things. It affects the way you think. It affects the way you behave. It affects your weight. It's just, I mean, the diet is so incredibly important. I don't believe in that whole food pyramid. I'm sorry. Like I said, too many carbs. That is based on a different metabolism other than the one that the majority of Black women have, which is insulin resistance. So I'm not a big fan of. To the person who asked me about eating for your blood type, I don't know a whole lot about it. I don't really talk about what I don't know. If it works for you, sister, it works for you. One thing that I can say is just watch your level of inflammation. Stay away from processed foods. Stay away from processed sugars. All of those things. Be mindful of that stuff. Don't wait until you get diabetes to eat like a diabetic. Okay. Don't wait until you get high blood pressure to watch your sodium intake. Like, let's do that now. Hold on, y'all. All right, let's do that now. Let's not wait. So, with all that in mind, and with that being said, your diet is probably a huge, huge, huge component of feeling better. Now, I'm going to give y'all some quick fixes when it comes to, because I know everybody wants to know about the sex of it all, right? Because it's like, well, damn, I'm 46 or 47 years old and I don't want him to touch me and I don't want him to get no girlfriend. But so yes, there is a treatment that can help you. But in the meantime and in between time, I told y'all listen to these products. I hope y'all ran and ordered them. Let me just give y'all a little cheat sheet. We're going to skip forward to the sex part. Little cheat sheet. The officially pleasured, I think it's officially pleasured XO or officially pleasured _XO on Instagram. Okay. They have something called Wet Kitty. Now, a patient brought it to my attention. And like I said, I don't be condoning a whole lot of stuff. So I said, what? So I ordered it to see if what she was saying was true. And then also to check the consistency and all the things, check the ingredients. Again, it's the chemist in me. So let me tell you about this stuff. Okay, so I don't know, maybe they've gotten better, I don't know, but when I did it, they take a good little amount of time to ship, so y'all might want to get on the front end of this thing. But they have a couple of colors. I don't really understand the color thing, but it's all in what you into. They have a clear and they have a white. I don't know. So I got the clear, and I don't know why anybody would want to have a bunch of white stuff, but anyway, that's your choice. So I got the clear. And it came, and it's in a bottle maybe about this big, right? And it's a dropper. It's like a dropper that's on the, and you get it up. It's like a clear gel, but not a gel. Very weird. So it's not weird, but it's odorless, colorless, tasteless, right? And it really mimics. So it's like, that's when I say it's like a gel, but not a gel, because it looks like a gel, but when you touch it, it feels like a little bit of a gel, a little bit of a water. Really interesting, but it does mimic the consistency of the vaginal secretions. Like, it really does. It doesn't feel like fake slippery. It really feels like the vaginal fluids. And so with the dropper, you fill the dropper up, you put the dropper inside of the vagina and you squeeze, okay? And you squeeze so therefore, depending on how much you feel like you need, 1, 2, I don't know, but that's up to you. But baby, you can put it in, when you get out the shower, before you're supposed to bust down with boo, all those things. Let's say you're supposed to, you're getting it down, supposed to have a date, or either, you go into bed for the evening and, it's been kind of talked about that y'all gonna bust down or whatever, right? Well, put it in. And let's say y'all fall asleep, you're tired, you had long days, you don't bust down. It will still, in the morning, let's say you get rolled over 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, whatever, it will still be that same consistency. Like, it does not dry up. It will not come off until you wash it off. It doesn't itch, it doesn't burn, it doesn't make you smell, it doesn't cause a vaginitis, okay? So in the meantime, until we actually fix what you got going on hormonally, sis, go ahead on and delve into this, okay? It's a thing. delve into it. Some people I fix, they even like, I still use it because he's like, wow. So yeah, just, it's a thing. Okay. So sexually, that's what I'm going to say is going to be an immediate fix to what you're doing, because to your situation, because at the end of the day, we all want something immediate that's going to fix the problem. Right. But, so yeah, that's how I say about that. Now, we talked about diet and how important diet is, and water, and drinking alkaline water, and making sure you're staying hydrated, which will also help vaginal stuff, but not so much because it's a hormonal thing. But just making sure you're staying hydrated for overall health, and just staying active and moving around and doing all the things. I don't care how many shots you take, and I don't care how much weight you lose with the shot. It does not matter. You have to move your body. You have to stay active. You have to stay healthy. So please don't get into that weird, oh, I'm on the shot, as if that fixes something, because it doesn't, unless you actually have a plan where you're learning how to eat, you're decreasing the inflammation in your body, you're changing your metabolism, you're fixing the insulin resistance, and you actually have an exercise prescription. The shot ain't gonna help you, and you're gonna end up right back where you started. So that's not a flex. Let me just be the one to tell you. And I do metabolism management / weight management at my practice, and I'm like, don't come over here because I ain't no shot peddler, because that ain't what we do. So if you're not looking for the whole program and to get better altogether, don't even come my way, because I ain't with it. Okay, so there's that. Now, when we talk about treatments are very interesting because they vary so much. I want to initially delve into the more natural, if that's a word that I can use, because I always use that word with caution. And the reason that I use it with caution is because people are going to grab you with a couple of words. Non-GMO is one of them. Organic is another one. Natural is another one. Vegan is another one. Holistic is another one. And herbal is another one. Out of all those words, non-GMO, natural, vegan, organic, holistic, all describe, or can all describe, cocaine. Right? Think about it. Think about it. So let's stop jumping on these words as if you're doing something magical for your health, or these people are selling you stuff that's so magical because it's vegan, it's this. Oh, and while we're speaking about vegan, let me go back to a vegan diet. And I want y'all to tag Tab in this, because I want her to be able to look at this in the privacy of her own home, because her and Perry be having it out. Now, when we talk about a vegan diet, I am all for a vegan diet. Let me be very clear about that. But in order to obtain your true health, you need to be not a raw vegan, but a real vegan. And what does that mean? Because some of y'all be like, I'm vegan. Y'all get the meatless chicken patties. Y'all get the meatless this. Y'all get the meatless that. You stay at Slutty Vegan. Shout out to Slutty Vegan. I'm not mad at her. It's a treat. It's not a lifestyle. Okay? Y'all stay doing this. You stay doing. But all of those things are based in soy. Those meatless things, a lot of them are based in soy. And soy carries phytoestrogens. And phytoestrogens can, in some cases, increase your risk of cancer. So if you're vegan, I need you eating more vegetables than not. I need you having, soy-based products as a treat on the occasional, not on the regular basis, and that's your whole diet. Cause no. And then also, sometimes I'll notice with vegans, a lot of vegans will replace meat with carbs and potatoes and different types of, and that's not what we want either, especially since we're moving in a space of being insulin resistant. We don't want those things, because that is going to make it worse for us. Okay, so forgot to add that in as part of the diet, but I wanted to just also get with you guys about words that are kind of like clickbait. Again, I said in the beginning of the video, for every bit of issue, paranoia, concern, whatever, there's going to be a fake ass expert out there. So you guys kind of really have to watch it. And this is why I want you to truly understand what's happening with your body. Okay, so to keep it very easy to understand, your estrogen is going down. Your estrogen is going down. Okay, and because it's going down, a lot of things start to happen. All the symptoms that you are starting to develop. Okay. And so don't people like, oh, well, I just give you some estrogen. No. oh, well, I'm gonna just give you that. No, okay, you really have to understand what is happening in order to treat and manage it. This is not, y'all, please don't just go getting supplements from folks on TikTok because it seems like they know what they're talking about, okay? Please. All right. Now, damn, I forgot where I was. Now, we talked about the food and all that good stuff and the supplements and the sex and all of those things. I want to get to supplementation. Okay. And I want to talk about the more natural supplements. There are some herbs that will help out with some symptoms. You have black cohosh. And I'm not going to name them because I ain't even going to lie. I'm not well versed on it. I don't need no herbalist down there like, you didn't name you don't know what you're talking about. And I don't. I don't know the name. I know a couple of herbs because I done came across some. People ask me questions about them. I look them up, and that's pretty much it. I don't know. Don't ask me. Go and actually speak with an herbalist and make sure that if you do take certain herbs that will help out the situation. Now, they're not necessarily going to help the health issues as far as the heart disease risk and the risk of diabetes and the risk of, different cancers and bone. They're not going to help all that. Okay. But what they will do is help with the symptoms 9 times out of 10. And, not only will it help with the symptoms, it just really helped with the symptoms. And I don't know how long it's going to really take. Right. So some people are like, oh, I started taking it in a week, I felt better. Some people are like, well, I've been on it for a month and I ain't really felt no better, type of a thing. I don't know. All right. But you do have some herbs that can help you out. Again, was the evening primrose oil, black cohosh, a bunch of different things that can kind of help. All right. But I would say sit with an herbalist. There are some stores, some herbal stores, and you ask them, are you an herbalist? Because some people just open damn herb stores and they don't know, but literally sit with an herbalist because you want to make sure that if you're on a combination of herbs, these herbs are not crossing, and you want to make sure that they're not going to cross with medications that you may or may not be taking. Okay. So it is very important that you get with an herbalist. If you want to do Chinese medicine, get with a Chinese herbalist. They're out there. Okay. Now there is a medication on the market called Veoza. Veoza is non-hormonal. Veoza only treats hot flashes. That's all it does. It ain't gonna fix nothing else. Don't ask them. All them people came and said, all we coming to do is fix your hot flash. We don't know nothing about nothing else. That's just like when you call the cable people and because your cable is out, don't ask them why your pilot won't light. That ain't what they there for. That ain't, They said, no ma'am. Okay. So just like the Veoza people said, look at here, we got the fire extinguisher. This is what we here for. Don't ask us about nothing else, period. Okay. So that is a new one. It's very new. I don't have a lot of patients on it. I don't have any patients on it actually, because like I said, what I'm going to do is fix all the symptoms. If you with it, and everybody doesn't have to be with it. My job is to kind of stay up and abreast on all of the options, and I give you all of your options and you decide what's best for you. Okay. So, my biggest message is just please be very careful when it comes to supplements. Y'all know I don't play about that vitamin D2, baby. 50,000 units once a week. If you my patient, you on it and you on it consistently throughout the year. I hear a lot of people say, well, my levels were normal, so my doctor didn't give it to me. Well, right. Normal levels are anywhere from 30 to 100. Right? But we know that vitamin D is not actually fighting disease in your body until it's up by 70. So if you are on that lower range of normal, say to your doctor, yeah, okay, that's real cute, but can I please have it anyway? If they refuse to give it to you, you can get over the counter. It's not going to work as fast and your numbers are not going to come up as high. But I don't ever want anybody to feel like, oh, I should not be taking. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's not the only modality and it's not the best modality, but it is a modality. So not saying that. Also, you should be on a calcium supplement. We want to keep those bones nice and strong. Calcium is very interesting though. So if you get like a calcium pill from your doctor, you want to make sure you take it with plenty of water. And don't go to sleep for 2 hours after you take it. Now, I'm going to give you some tea. Do you realize that you can, okay, so how can I say this? your daily calcium supplement you can get in 1 Tums. Yeah, like those little soft chewy Tums that you can get in 1 Tums. There is like a little chocolate chew. It's called Viactive. They sell it at like the stores, like, you know, the drugstores. And it's called Viactive. With Viactive, one little chocolate chew, that's your calcium supplement for the day. Okay, it doesn't have to be a big deal. We don't have to make it a big deal. Just either the Tums or the Viactive is probably one of what you want to do. Okay, so taking your calcium supplement, making sure you're taking your vitamin D, and please take a 1-a-day vitamin. I don't really care what kind of vitamin it is. Like for me, I used to take Ritual vitamins. Baby, let me tell you about them Ritual vitamins. I was late on getting my pellets one time, right? And we'll get into that. I was late on getting my pellets. So my energy was a little bit low. And so I started taking my Ritual vitamins. They had me where I needed to be. Baby, when I got my pellets and taking them damn Ritual vitamins, I thought I was literally going to jump out of my own face. Like, they are that serious to me. I don't know. And I take the 50+ ones. So I don't know. Maybe it was just me. I have no idea. But you don't have to take Ritual vitamins. You could take regular old vitamins. I'm not a fan of gummies because gummies tend to have a crap load of sugar. And it's just not necessary. Like, just take a 1 a day or whatever vitamin you take. And just so a regular multivitamin, your vitamin D, and a calcium supplements, they are absolutely, absolutely, absolutely must-haves, okay? In this whole game of menopause, all right? Also, just be careful when it comes to like doubling and tripling up supplements. Like, you know, I can sit and there's going to be a reason why I'm going to take every herb at the herbal store. Yes, I want to take elderberry. Yes, I want to take chasteberry. Yes, I want to take black cohosh. Yes, I want to do this. Yes, I want to take red yeast rice. Yes, I want to take turmeric. Yeah, girl, you can't take everything. Okay. So I get that, you know, here's how I look at herbs. Herbs are prevention and maintenance, if that makes any sense. So let's say the doctor says to you, hey, you know, you're hypertensive, you know, your blood pressure's a little high. It's not that bad. It's a little high. So I think you need to take the medication. Understand, when you are hypertensive, and this is one thing, I'm going to jump on this. It's going to be the start of the next video, because that is one thing that African Americans refuse. We refuse to accept that damn diagnosis of hypertension. We refuse. And I'm going to get in, y'all, about that. But if they say, okay, you need to take this medication. I ain't taking that medication. I don't want to be on no medication. We're going to get into that. But I would say, okay, let me take the medication. What all can I do to get my pressure down? Let me start walking. Let me change my diet. Let me lose a little bit of weight. Let me take my medication now. But maybe some herbs can help. Maybe some herbs can assist. And you go, and I'm not sure which one it is. I think it's red yeast rice or something like that. I can't, don't quote me on it. And they give you the medication. Okay, great. But you can't just take the herb, not take your medicine, and not do nothing else and think your blood pressure is supposed to come down. No, that's not how that works. It is not a magic pill. You have to do your part. You have to make those lifestyle changes. You have to do all those things, but take your medicine. And I'll tell you why in a second. Take your medicine. You have to do all of those things. And then what will happen is when those things start to align, then your blood pressure will start to drop. And then you can say to your doctors, okay, let's start decreasing the medicine. Let's start decreasing the medicine. So now we're on our herbal supplement and we've changed our lifestyle. We'll decrease in our medication. But it don't just work like I'm not going to take nothing. And then let me explain why it's important to you and why it's a dialysis clinic on every corner in the hood. Why is that? Because for every day your blood pressure is elevated, you're killing your kidneys. You're killing your kidneys. If nobody told you, let me be the one to tell you. You are killing your kidneys for every day your pressure is elevated. Okay? So this is why I say don't be in a space of I'm not taking the medicine. If you don't believe the diagnosis, get yourself a blood pressure cuff. Read the blood pressure cuff. Check your own pressures at home once in the morning, once in the evening. If your pressures are elevated for more than 2 readings, you got high blood pressure. If you don't believe that, find a provider that you do trust. But don't be out here like, oh no, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to do that. Why? Because we have been bastardized into thinking that bad health bad behavior got us high blood pressure. No, boo, boo, boo. High blood pressure is genetic. One of your parents had it. Now, your behavior may have determined that you got it quicker. It may have determined that you got it worse, but you were likely to get it anyway. Okay, so I don't want you to think that good behavior is going to reverse hypertension because bad behavior caused it. That's BS. That is BS, and I don't like it, and that is something that we're bastardized into thinking because don't go ahead and don't take the pill, and it's okay, but when you finally go to the doctor, you're going to need 2 pills to control because you didn't take the 1 pill, and then when you finally end up on renal failure, kidney failure, or you're going to need a whole bunch of pills, or you're going to have a problem. You understand what I'm saying? So I call it penny wise, pound foolish, but we're going to talk about that more in the next video. So we're going to pick up and talk about hypertension. And then we're going to talk about the treatments for menopause and all you can expect from the treatments. And then we're going to talk about myths, rumors, things that you've heard, and all of that. So I want you guys to comment down below about the things that you've already heard, and then also comment about things that you want to discuss and talk about. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you're learning a lot from it, and see you soon.